The law of karma. How unbreakable is it? What is bad karma and good karma? And what should you do if there is more bad karma in your life than good? How can you change your karma in this very lifetime, and do you have to pay for it? In this podcast, you will learn all the answers to the most common questions about karma. Get comfortable and listen. What's the difference between bad karma and good karma? I think about this a lot because I study the Vedas every day. These are ancient holy books that came to us from India. These Vedic texts tell us everything about karma and reincarnation. The more you read these books, the more you understand how little free choice we really have. But there is one way out of this unbreakable law of karma. If you know this secret, you can change your whole life. My name is Max, and in this video, I want to talk about how we can improve our karma, how we can reduce the bad karma and increase the good karma. I want to say right away that this is not an easy method, and it's not available to everyone. But if you have enough enthusiasm to start changing your destiny, you can not only clean your karma, but also get freedom from the material world. This is what yogis and mystics dream about. This is why people meditate and do spiritual practices day and night. Getting this freedom means you stop suffering no matter where you are, in heaven, in hell, or on earth like all of us. Why do I even want to talk about karma and how to change it? Because a person's level of suffering in life depends exactly on what kind of karma they have. Nobody wants to change good karma, but everyone wants to avoid bad karma. Almost everyone in this world suffers, and you do too. Sometimes this suffering comes from other beings, including people. Sometimes it comes from nature in the form of all kinds of disasters. But most of the time, we suffer because of our own mind, because nobody can mess up and make any situation worse like we do to ourselves. First of all, you need to understand that karma is not just the consequences of our bad actions. Even when we do good things, we still earn karma. So, what exactly is karma? The law of karma is the law of cause and effect. What you plant, you will harvest. And we might have planted seeds in past lives, but we have to collect the results now. Wars, death, sickness, droughts, hunger, other natural disasters, all of this is present in every person's life. Of course, good things happen to us too. But in this barrel of honey, there's always a drop of poison that ruins all our attempts to enjoy good karma. This is our natural understanding that all good things will end someday. This is exactly what I want to discuss in this video. How can we make good things happen to us forever? And is this even possible? Karma is any activity and its consequences that force a living being to be born again and again in this world. You might ask, what's so bad about being born again and again? But only a person who doesn't remember their past lives can ask this. Someone who doesn't remember how many loved ones they've lost, how much grief they've experienced, how much pain they've caused to other living beings. The sages who study the Vedas say that if we remembered even just a few of our past lives, we would go insane from horror. This world is arranged in such a way that it's impossible to be constantly happy here. Let me explain why. Usually we perform certain actions in order to get pleasure, physical or mental. We try to satisfy our tongue, nose, ears, stomach, eyes, skin, mind, etc. But there's a side effect. When we enjoy something or someone, it inevitably brings suffering to someone else. For example, you went to a restaurant and ordered a pork or veal dish. A calf or piglet had to pay with its life for your whim. You bought a new car. At Chinese factories, more than one person lost their health for the sake of your comfort. You decided to get married, and someone who was secretly in love with you cries at night because of this. Not a single action we take for our own pleasure passes without a trace, and we'll have to pay for every action in the future. This is the law of karma. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the main Vedic texts, it is said that karmic activity, that is, the pursuit of sensual pleasures, is the cause of a living being's material bondage. All the suffering that a person experiences in life is the consequence of their actions in the past. Your husband or wife left you? That means in past lives you yourself treated someone that way. You have no money? That means in past lives you were very greedy or you stole. You're starving? That means in past lives you made others starve. But karma works in the opposite direction as well. If in your past life you did good deeds, donated food to the poor, built hospitals, took care of the elderly and children, did something for the benefit of your country, then in this life, everything should be going well for you. If this is not the case, it means you brought much more trouble to other living beings than benefits. Have you ever wondered why bad things happen to good people and vice versa? This question interests many people. After all, it often happens that small innocent children die, or an apparently very kind person constantly suffers, while a cruel and evil person lives in pleasure. And the law of karma answers this question. If someone lives well despite doing bad things, it means that in a past life, or perhaps in several lives, they did something good. And conversely, a good person may be paying for bad deeds they committed in past incarnations, which is why they suffer now. As for actions in this life, each of us will face punishment or reward in future incarnations. This is how karma works. For this life, our entire destiny is already mapped out to the second. Everything we do now will bear fruit only in future lives, whether good or bad. The transition after death from one body to another is called reincarnation. I talked about reincarnation in one of my previous videos. I'll leave a link to it in the description. For now, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to continue learning many interesting things about karma, reincarnation, the soul, and other secrets of the universe. Your reactions will really help make this video popular. So at some point, a person gets tired of such a meaningless life, which turns into a Groundhog Day. Born, married, worked, had children, got sick, grew old, died, and then again in a circle. Any reasonable person should eventually come to the question, what is the meaning of this life if, in the end, with the death of this body, I will lose everything anyway? Maybe one can simply sit somewhere in the Himalayas, meditate, and do nothing, not earn either good or bad karma, and at the end of life, simply fade away or dissolve into some kind of nirvana? To this, the Vedas unequivocally answer, the soul cannot disappear. Each of us is a unique personality, eternal and indestructible. Only our body is temporary, while the soul is always eternal and immortal. Therefore, you will always have to do something. Besides, it's unlikely that you would be able to just sit until the end of your life without eating a single carrot or killing a single mosquito that bites you. And this would already be karmic activity, and you would have to pay for it. And what if I spend my whole life doing only good deeds? Will I then stop suffering? To this, the Vedas answer, in general, yes. A good person will earn good karma and may be born in heaven in the future. But heaven is not eternal, and from there, eventually, one will have to descend back to earth and suffer again. So you might ask, will these sufferings, this cycle of life and death, last forever? Not necessarily. There is one secret about how to get rid of karma, change your destiny, and no longer be born in this world full of wars, diseases, cataclysms, and other calamities. And this secret is described in the sacred Vedic scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The secret is simple. You need to start performing activities for the pleasure of the one who created this entire world and all its laws, including the law of karma. And this someone is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedas, he is called by the names Krishna, Rama, Narayana, Hari, and others. Muslims call him Allah, and the Bible describes such names of God as Jehovah, Yahweh, Sabaoth. If you attract God's attention, if he becomes interested in you, consider that all your problems will be solved. As soon as a person begins to take interest in God, God in return begins to take interest in them. These are normal, understandable relationships between personalities. As soon as you become a friend to God, he can, out of friendship, take away all your bad karma and transform your destiny beyond recognition. After all, he is our best friend, and karma is just a toy in his hands. You might ask, why can't God help me now? The answer is simple. You are not interested in him. Therefore, he does not want to impose himself on you. If you are not interested in someone, but they constantly try to talk to you, to get to know you, wouldn't that irritate you? You might even get angry at such a tactless person or lash out at them. But God is a very tactful personality. He will never impose himself or his help on someone who doesn't need him. Similarly, he will not respond to attempts to simply use him for one's own purposes. God is not a toy. He is God, the source of everything in the universe, including you and me. And the only way to attract his attention is through a close relationship. Think about what you usually do when you want to become friends with someone. Most likely, you try to learn as much as possible about that person. Perhaps you introduce yourself and offer them something to eat. Or even simpler, you become friends with someone who is already their friend. Then you might want to give a gift to this person to do something good and useful for them. It's exactly the same with God. If you start taking an interest in who he is, how to address him, where he lives, what he likes and dislikes, how you can give him gifts or offer him something, then the chances that you will become friends will be very high, and your karma will melt away without a trace, although by that point you won't care anymore. After all, having a friend like God means having absolutely everything in life, including all happiness, wealth, fame, knowledge, etc. And most importantly, you will receive all the love that is not even available in this world, because God is the source of all love. The Vedas unequivocally answer the question of how to change your destiny or karma. Any independent methods will not help, but will only further entangle you in the cycle of births and deaths. But God can take away the consequences of any karma in an instant. For this, as he himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, you only need to surrender to him, to God, become his devotee, and then all the problems of life will be solved forever. As for how to surrender to God, I will tell about that in other videos. I hope I was able to answer at least a little the question of whether karma can be changed. If you have other questions or if new ones have arisen, watch videos on my channel to learn more about karma, reincarnation, the soul, spiritual practice, and God. And if you want to know right now everything about how this world works and who God is, I recommend reading the book Bhagavad Gita as it is, with commentaries by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I will leave a link to the book in a pinned comment. I would be grateful in return for a subscription, like, and comment on this video if you enjoyed it.